Miss Christl Mahfouz joins us. Did I pronounce it right?
You did.
Oh, all right.
You did.
On time.
Thank you.
How did you like our new water feature we have going on out in the lobby?
Well, I have my beautiful rubber boots on this morning.
You're prepared.
Yes, so I was ready for the lobby. Yeah.
A wise man once said, skylights are beautiful if you want to get wet.
That's right.
You know.
There you go.
Anyways, so thanks for coming in. If the name does not sound familiar to you, it should, because there is something that each and every person who's listening right now knows of, an item that everyone knows of, and you have no idea that the mind behind it and the inspiration behind it and the work behind it is sitting in the studio with us. The Make America Great Again hats.
Yes.
Christl Mahfouz joins us from Ace, and you have Ace Specialties.
Correct.
Okay, so you have had to move a few times in the last year, or in the last few years since the 2016 election, to deal with demand, because you are indeed the source of the officially branded Make America Great Again everything.
That is correct. So
unreal.
Isn't it?
Unreal.
Right here out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
So we got to meet you on Tuesday, and you were honored by Junior Achievement as someone who, as all the other honorees for Junior Achievement, really give back to the community and are a success story for what can happen. So we have time here.
Yes,
and we wanted
do.
to have you in because I want you to explain to people how this came to be. So I'll clear up some misconceptions to start with. You are not just making yard signs, hats, T-shirts, everything else for our area. You're making them for the whole country.
Exactly.
From here.
For the entire United States since July of 2015 when I made my pitch in Trump Towers.
So you went there and you kind of told this story. I'm going to let you tell it again, but kind of set the stage. First of all, how did you even get the invitation to go up to New York? I mean, the Trump campaign was kind of just getting started. There had been the Trump Tower announcement that had already happened in the summer of 2015.
Exactly.
And where does Christl Mahfouz end up in that story?
Well, I guess to go back a few months, before my presentation in July of 2015, I, like every other small business or large business in the community, was greatly affected by the downturn in the oil industry. And I woke up one morning and didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I mean, tapping out the credit cards, every line of credit at the bank. And all I knew what to do was turn to God. And so I started praying novenas, and I started praying every day. And I was like, God, just please show me the direction. Mm-hmm. Show me. I want to survive. I don't want to file bankruptcy and hurt myself and my employees. Mm-hmm. And, I'll do whatever it takes.
Because Ace Specialties had been in business for how many years by this point?
Since 2007.
Okay, so so you had kind of gone up and down. I mean, your business depended heavily on these contracts from different oil and gas companies.
Correct.
Okay.
So when President Trump came down the escalator that great day, a light bulb went off in my head. And I knew they were holding some T-shirts in the crowd, and they were terrible. Yeah. They were terrible.
Yeah.
And we
eagles,
still
wolves.
laugh about it to this day. But so I overnighted a ton of samples. We came up with different designs, veterans for Trump, oil field for Trump. Trump Pence, well, we didn't know Pence then,
we didn't
but
know him yet,
yes. And it was like a godsend. And overnighted them. They loved everything. And within 2 weeks, I was in Trump Towers giving a Shark Tank style presentation.
I mean, you know what? I hear about it, and I can't wait to hear about the presentation. But just to think about getting to that point, you were from Abbeville, right?
Correct.
Okay, so for someone who is kind of at a low point, I think it's fair to say, with your business, and then kind of having this opportunity. First of all, if the story stopped right there, that you just got an appointment, you just got a chance to give a presentation, how encouraging is that for people? I mean, who just think they can't make it, or think, you know what, I'm from Abbeville, there is a ceiling to where I can be in life. It just doesn't exist, with hard work.
So I think my story is a true testimony to never give up.
Yeah.
I mean, never give up. We learned to diversify. All of my employees go over and beyond, like I mentioned the other night. You know, and again, it's we were given an opportunity for small business, you know, and I didn't get to say, but you know, starting my presentation, and back then there were only 2 people working for the campaign, 2 or 3. So it was really informal, but I was prepared for a big formal
and you
presentation.
were with the Trump kids, right?
Well, it was the campaign team, and then Eric Trump comes in.
Okay.
But after his sister came in, when I was in there just setting up, and Ivanka turned to me and she said, "American Apparel, made in the USA," and gave me a high five. And at that moment, every ounce of nervousness just left.
Yeah.
And I knew, I was like, I got this, you know?
So everything that you made for that is all American made?
Everything that we have on shop.donaldjtrump.com is made in the USA.
And I would imagine that's more expensive, obviously, to have than importing it from somewhere else. But I think that goes right along with his message of America First. So it doesn't surprise me at all that supporters would pay for that, premium.
Exactly. And so, you know, during the presentation, someone looked at Eric and said, "Eric, has your father seen this?" And he's like, "No, someone go get my father." And so
I would have passed out at that point, because I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Who, you know, you just don't think that's going to happen.
I know. So Mr. Trump comes down, and he comes out of the elevator, and he literally looked at every product and approved right there on the spot, and disapproved the ones that he didn't want to go with. So he turned to look at me and he said, "How fast can you get this done?" And I said, "Give me a week. I'll have the website portion built for the store.
Yeah.
I'll have all of the product, and we'll be ready to go." And he did tell me, he said, "We will go with the post office 100%. And everything must be made in the USA," which I had already had, all the samples.
I didn't even think about that. So you use the post office exclusively?
Exclusively.
Wow.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're great. I mean, they pick up from our facility every single day. Back during the campaign, I told you we were shipping 10,000 packages a day.
So, I mean, you obviously have this arc because, you know, leading up to the campaign, and then even that time between the election and the inauguration, that's a huge point. It probably drops off a bit. And now we're revving up again.
And yes, we are. And
so
you know what?
Moved 3 times, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So in 2015, we had, which I'm sure some of y'all have seen, a building on Verot. My sign is actually still up, but I have the building for sale now. We started there, 7,000 square feet, working almost 24 hours a day.
Wow.
After 2016, started to look for a bigger space, actually last year, so 2018, and moved into a building off of South Park, only to now have moved for a 3rd time. But a beautiful building, 40,000 square feet. We started to purchase more equipment.
So you can actually make more here.
Exactly.
Instead of,
Exactly.
Wow.
So, yes, now we're getting into manufacturing. So, it's great.
Okay, so the one thing that stood out to me, by the way, it's just such an inspiring story.
Yeah.
By the way, you have such drive, and you're going to be too humble to say it, but, you know, the people that you have around you, I mean, you can tell, just the people who are at the event on Tuesday night, you can tell they all act as if they are the owner of the company as well. And you spoke to that a little bit in your speech about, you know, how you've had long-term people and you really look for great people, especially when you're trying to work a 24/7 operation. Trust me, as someone who does it, everyone just can't go home. You can't turn the lights off, especially when you kind of build up. But the question I had was, so obviously this run in 2020 will be President Trump as this President Trump. How does the business stay after? If you have this big election, do you like campaigns? Do you hope that he refers you to someone else? I mean, what's the long game? Because it is such, especially if you have all of this here now.
Well, so, you know, obviously the campaign is a huge part of our success and part of our business day to day, but we do have lots of other things going on.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we've
Awesome.
partnered with the RNC, the Republican National Committee, and there's a new effort called Win Red. And so it's a Republican effort to centralize small donor contributions. And so we're the merchandise arm of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
good.
it's
Well,
great.
There
It's
will
exciting.
be Republican candidates, forever.
Forever.
So there you go.
If you would speak to the women who are listening right now, who are in business, who might be struggling, or the women right now working for somebody else who think, I always wanted to start my own business. Because you know what? Like, I want to, I almost kind of have to gather myself here a little bit. When you were speaking the other night, I was so overcome by the fact that just that you wanted to do this and you were able to do this. When you started Ace Specialties, you started with one client, right?
Yes,
Okay,
one
so,
client.
I mean, if that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. So talk to the women out there who have maybe thought about it before, or maybe they're in business and they're struggling. Give some encouragement.
Yes. So, ladies out there, I think my story is definitely a true testimony. And I spoke the other night about the ego and the drive that I had when I first opened Ace. It didn't matter what someone asked me for. My answer was always yes. Do you need duct tape? Okay, I've got it.
Yeah.
Do you need this? I've got it. And I think that motivation, that drive kept me and going.
Mm-hmm.
When I woke up in the morning, I was ready to go. I was ready to take on the day. And
you obviously had to see the need because, you talk about just kind of finding that people have needs for things all the time. Look, we have crock pot liners now that someone just invented because they were tired of cleaning
Isn't
their
that
crock pot.
great?
I mean, it's just everywhere.
I know.
Someone told me there's grilled cheese sandwich bags that you make the whole grilled cheese, you put it in this bag, and you stick the whole thing in the toaster now.
That's epic.
That's amazing.
There's a need. And
There's a need.
And so I love it, and you are so devoted to it.
Right. But the most part is, or the best part, and one thing that you can't forget is faith.
Mm-hmm.
And, turning to God for me and just saying, lead me in the right direction.
And every day's not going to be easy.
Every day's not easy. It's not easy.
Wow.
I mean, still today, there's days where I'm like, just things don't go right or
doesn't go the way you think it's going to go.
Right.
Or,
Exactly. But, we make it happen and we just keep going. And, the great days 100% make up for any bad
Anything
days.
else,
So
huh?
stay strong, stay motivated, set your goals and strive to achieve them.
Whether you're a man, woman, or a young person, just know that, these success stories can happen every day. And it just takes some true grit and a lot of faith. I immediately thought of this song the other night. I thought of Katy Perry's Fireworks. So this is for you. Okay.
I love it.
I'm like, she is a firework. This woman is a firework.
Christl Mahfouz,
We're making America great again.
Ace Specialties, located here. Another big year coming up for you ahead. We wish you all the success in the world. Thanks for coming by. It's good
Thank
to
you
meet
so much.
Start again. Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving?